What up, though, y'all? It's Chris. Appreciate you connecting with me while I'm out here on the run getting things done. Let's jump right into this big story right now, man. Former President Joe Biden, he has revealed that he's been diagnosed with an aggressive prostate cancer, and that is truly unfortunate. You guys know I voted for Biden, and I ended up having deep regret about that. And it was pretty early on too. I voted for Biden. I thought that was a terrible mistake, and it was only a few months into his presidency, some of the moves that he was making that just had me like, "Oh my God, this ain't it." So, it was a long 4 years for me under Joe Biden. I really did not like him as a president. However, that's as a president. As a man, I am empathetic to his situation. I was empathetic to the fact that he was suffering from dementia. I mentioned that multiple times in videos that I thought it was ridiculous that here was a man that was very clearly on the cognitive decline, and the Democrats were pretending like that wasn't the case. The man was fumbling over his words. He was falling over in different places. He'd be spacing out. And they were acting like this was just perfectly normal. There was no cause for alarm. And if you pointed it out, you were basically just a hater. You were seeing something that wasn't really there, regardless of how many instances we seen proof backing up this man's not well. They continued to gaslight us and act like there was no issue with him. And that really upset me because my grandma, she had dementia. So I've seen firsthand what happens with that. And not only was it not a good idea for Biden himself to try to press forward and rerun for president, I thought it was terrible for people in his cabinet, in his circle, to keep pushing him to do it just so that they can keep their jobs when they knew full well this man was not well. So with the dementia situation, you have that coupled with this, and Biden, he's not well. They said it's an aggressive prostate cancer. One report that I read said that it spread to the bone. That's just terrible, man. I'm not happy about this at all. We're all humans, regardless of the fact that I did not agree with him as a president, regardless of the fact that he made a lot of decisions and their policies I thought were un-American. He was not moving in the best interest of us as Americans at all. At the end of the day, he's still someone's father, still someone's husband, still someone's, grandfather, still human. So I take no delight in his situation whatsoever. I do wish him a recovery, but I'm not gonna hold y'all up, man. Just based on what I've read about what he's dealing with, it's not looking good. I can sit up here and hope for the best with him, and I do. I genuinely do. But I'm a realist, and it's not. It's just not looking well. It would take a miracle, in my opinion, for him to make his way out of this on the other side. Just being real with y'all. I've been reading different comments on the news clips that I watched, and one question that has been consistent that I gotta admit I'm wondering on that one too. Was this their play with Kamala? Because it's very unlikely that Biden had no idea that his health was in the state that it's in. Really, there's just no way that he had no idea of this. And was this their play all along with Kamala? Biden reruns, he wins, and he then at some point during his tenure hand things over to Kamala. Because think about this: had he won, had he continued to move on, and he won somehow, he'd be in the middle of his second term right now, and he'd be, I mean, with a cancer diagnosis, he'd have to hand it off to Kamala. So really, I'm wondering, was this the play all along? It's really looking like it. And I don't trust them when it comes to these sorts of things, because if you remember, when Kamala lost to Trump, the Democrats were urging that Biden step down. His final month as president, people were urging that he step down as president so that Kamala can be president for the last month of his term. This is how desperate they were in order to put Kamala in the White House, simply for the narrative of first woman and first woman of color. So they were more concerned with making history than anything else. And the history that they were making was artificial. I mean, first woman president, but you had to use trickery in order to get her in there. So is that really how you want to make history under those circumstances, that Biden had to do the heavy lifting for her, win his I mean, people say Trump should have won in 2020, and people say he won fair and square. I'm gonna let you guys decide where you land with that. I'll tell you this though, knowing what I know now, I'm really leaning towards Trump won 3 times. You may not agree with me there, but just knowing what I know now with the amount of votes that Biden had then versus the amount of votes that Kamala got this time around, it was like 12 million votes that just nothing. Like where'd that go, man? You know, I know we lost some people due to COVID, but the numbers is just too weird. The numbers not numbering. The math ain't mathing. You know, Joe Biden, they want me to believe that he had, 80 million, 81 million votes. Didn't Obama have like somewhere around 69 million? It was in the high 60s. And Barack Obama is by far the most popular Democrat president. And they want me to believe that Biden somehow got like 12 million more votes than him. Like I said, it's really looking like Trump won 3 times in a row, and that claim of the election being rigged, more and more it's looking like validity to that. But nonetheless, ultimately, win or lose, this is the situation that Biden is in right now. He's battling colon cancer. It's not looking good. I don't have any ill will on him when it comes to this, because, as I said, we're all human. I'd like to see him recover. I just don't know how likely that it is, being, his age. It's rough, man, for real. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, though, of course. So hit me with that like if you like what I do. Hit me with that sub if you like what I do. I'll holler at y'all soon. Peace.